So far we've added the mushrooms to our pizza, but now we need a mushroom button over here on the left so that when we press it, the mushrooms will actually animate and fly into our pizza. So we're going to use the mushroom picture to make our mushroom button. We wouldn't want to use the mushroom movie clip because if we manipulate it, it'll inadvertently change our mushrooms movie clip. So let's make sure you're on the mushroom layer and that it's not locked. Go ahead and grab that mushroom ping and drag an instance of him to the stage. Remember that you can change his size using that free transform tool and holding down your shift key to change the height and width together. And then we're going to want to be able to click him, so we're going to have to make him a movie clip. So I'm on a Mac, so I have to right click and say convert to symbol. If you're on a PC, you'd hit F8. Remember to name your movie clip with a capital letter, and we will call him Mushroom Button. Now I'd like to add a code snippet to him. So I'm going to come over here to code snippets, and I'm going to go to event handlers, and I want it to do something when I click the mouse. So I'm going to choose my mouse click event. And I think what happened right now was that I still have, oh no, oh sorry, so movie clip, code samples, mouse click event, double click on the mouse click event. And what happened was the selected symbol requires an instance name, and you can see that over here in our properties we never gave him an instance name. So for our code to know that we mean this mushroom button, we have to give him a specific name. So instance names are typically given with a lowercase letter, so I'm going to name him Mushroom Button with a lowercase letter. Okay. So we come over here to our code snippets, or our actions panel. We can see that here's his instance name. We see the dot operator. This is our function, add event listener. It's added to the mushroom button, so now he's listening for the mouse click event. When that mouse click event happens, he's going to call this method, the mouse click handler method. It wrote this name for us. It's a default name. So when they click the mouse, it'll fire and execute this method. This function is written down here. The function has one parameter type event that tells us that they clicked the mouse, and right now it's only outputting to the output screen inside of our editor, and it just prints out mouse clicked. So if we were to run it now, we could click it and it prints out mouse clicked. What we'd like to do is we'd like these mushrooms here to fly in. Now in order for us to tell in the code that we mean these mushrooms here, we also need to give him an instance name. So when I click on him and I see his properties over here in the properties panel, I see he doesn't have an instance name yet either. So I need to give him an instance name so that I could tell him to go and play his timeline. So I'll give him the instance name mushrooms with a lowercase m. Now I'll come back to my actions, make sure I'm on frame 1 of my actions layer, which it created this actions layer for me. Make sure you're inside the curly brackets for your function. And now I'll write his instance name that I just gave him, mushrooms. I'm going to use the go to and play function. I'll know that I spelled it right if he turns blue. And I want him to go to and play that frame that I called the go frame. So remember what we did in here. This was his internal timeline, and this was the frame that we gave the label GO. And capitalization matters, so I wrote lowercase go. So in our code, in those action script, I wrote lowercase go. Okay, so this tells it go to that mushrooms instance, go to and play on his timeline GO. It'll go from frame 2 to the end of his timeline and then stop again. Alright, we can test this. Command enter or control enter on a PC. When I click on him, the mushrooms fly in.